Hey, hi, I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat. So I was thinking, when I was when I was living in uh in California and I was over there and I was homeless, like when I was doing bad. Yeah. Um, I was doing drugs. I was doing drugs and smoking and sometimes drinking here and there and just not putting the right things into my body. And then also alcoholism is pretty bad. Okay. As some of you guys might know, like my grandfather was murdered in California in Hollywood. He was the first one they killed for the Black Widow murders. You know, I found out after I came out of the military because I was looking for him, and I found it from news lines and all that stuff. But alcoholism is really bad. Like it for sure. He had cirrhosis of the liver. I remember him, like, he couldn't eat salt. He had to eat that no salt stuff. It's really yucky. It tastes like a chemical. But he ended up, after that he ended up separating because he my sister and my mother, they never really got along. They kind of exiled my mom from the family. I remember my grandmother, my sister, my uncle, my grandpa, they kind of exiled her. For what reasons exactly, I'm not sure. But I know that there was a lot of addictions in that family. Like my aunt Stella, she was heroin junkie. My uncle Paul, he was using drugs and alcohol. My grandma, I think she passed away from some sort of pancreatic something, or she died pretty young, but it was from complications of some sort of illness or something. And then, of course, my grandpa died. He didn't even die naturally. He was murdered. That kind of sucks. Because he was an alcoholic. Yeah. Anyways, when I was in California and I was doing all that stuff, whatever, I basically like woke up in my car and after like getting a really good night's sleep, because when you're drinking and you're drugging and all that, you ain't getting no good sleep. You're not. You're just getting enough to get up so you can go again and find more drugs, or a way to get high or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't deal, maybe, well, I'm thinking now that I'm looking back, is I was doing all that stuff because I couldn't cope with my life. I didn't want to deal with my life. You know what I mean? All the bad stuff that happened to me and all that. I just didn't want to think about or cope with it. But you know what? Like when I woke up in my car that one day after getting like a really good sleep, I kind of looked around and I was like, you know what? Fuck this place. I was like in a park in Santa Monica, parked. There was a lot of cars parked there, a lot of people sleeping in their cars. And I was like, this is not me, you know? And I had just a weird, wild hair. Like, when you have a wild hair and you just go and do it and you don't think about anything, you don't plan, you just do it. Well, I drove to where, these homeless encampment was that I knew, and I picked up a couple people and I said, I'm taking you guys to my storage. I want you to get anything you can handle, you can use, you can sell, that's going to benefit for you, whatever. I want you guys to get it. And they're like, yeah. So I took them, they grabbed a whole bunch of stuff that they could carry because I just had a car I had my little red car here to drive them in, so it wasn't really, that they could carry a lot of things. But I didn't have a lot of furniture and stuff anyway, so But they got everything they could, and then I dropped them back, and I said good luck to them, because I just, I had in my mind that I am getting out of here. And obviously I can't give this stuff to. I can't bring this stuff because I would never be able to fit it in my car. I was able to fit one chest in there, and that was it. And I put things that I needed in the chest, and the rest was for the trash or whoever wanted it, you know? I'm almost positive that some of these people thought that I was planning to like kill myself or something like that, because that is what people who are considering that do. But it wasn't. That wasn't the case. It was almost like a wake up call. I came to my senses for at least one moment, you know, and during my these times, and but I kept going with it. I kept rolling with it. Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And once I got the storage cleared out, the thing in my car, I left. I left. I just started driving away from California. I even remember some of that trip. I went through Colorado even, and I didn't have any stresses then because I wasn't pulling anything. I just had the car, you know. So I had an okay driving through Colorado. It was during that time where I could see all the beautiful colors in the trees. It was during that time. And seeing some of these things and passing over rivers and lakes and things like that, and just basically talking to myself a lot of the time, which I feel like I might have been talking to God, you know, like, because sometimes, you know, if you're having a conversation and you're by yourself, who do you think you're talking to, you know? I'm sure God is listening, you know, but I wasn't so into God at that time. I was just like, I want to get away from there. So I did start driving, and then I got to the Midwest, and it was a toss up between 4 states. I didn't really know how they were, but I ended up in Missouri, because it was going to be either be the 4 states around Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and I can't remember what's above there or below, or I don't know which ones I have. Anyways, so I chose that one, and I found a place. Wasn't too. I wasn't feeling like I was going through withdrawals too much for some reason. I have no idea why, but I didn't really feel withdrawals, you know. And I'm not the kind of person to go out and look for dope, you know, like, unless it's easy to get and I can get. But during this time, it was kind of being around the COVID times, beginning, right? And so I just wanted to get to a destination and get a place. Okay. Um, and so, I mean, after a bunch of stuff, whatever, I got the place. And then I had time to sit alone and think, and then I started thinking about the drugs. But I didn't know anybody over there. So obviously that 2,000-mile trip that I took to go from California to Missouri, I was not using, but it was coming out of my body anyways, you know. Because after time your body gets rid of the toxins, you know. And so I realized, okay, I'm done with that stuff. I'm never gonna find it. I'm never gonna do it again, you know. It's kind of like I forced myself to get away from California because it was so toxic for me, that I went somewhere that I absolutely didn't know anybody, because I was being forced to quit. Like, I forced myself. I knew that I know I'm not gonna go out looking for it. And so I had still a little bit of weed, but I didn't know that it was not legal there. You have to have a card and all that business. So when I was done with it, I went like out in town to see, oh, maybe I can gonna get some more, because I'm not against weed, it's natural, whatever. And then I found out it's not legal there, and I was like, I didn't know. So it was like I had to quit that too, you know. So I ended up having to be forced to quit everything. That was my suggestion. It's like, if you are trying to quit something and you're real serious about it, you have to move away from everything that you know, because it's gonna bring you back. So, anyways, I ended up cleaning my act up over there. I lived there for a year, built the camper and all that stuff. Um, I was able to get weed because I met someone and it was another veteran guy. Well, so he said, I don't know if he really was, because we have a lot of people out here posing as veterans when they're really not, or veterans who have been dishonorably discharged because they did something wrong, and they never tell anybody that they're dishonorable. People, they're not going to say that. So, anyways, I had that. That was okay for me. But, I had planned to leave there anyways after I did my trailer. So we left, and then just being on the road and all this stuff and meeting a whole bunch of people here and there and everywhere. There's a lot of hurt people out here. There's a lot of people who are broken people, like that. And the United States doesn't have any handle on the mental health issue we have here. They think they do, but they don't. Their cure to everything is a pill, just to get somebody stuck on some other drug, So I realized that, and I myself refuse to take any pharmaceuticals because I have allergic reaction to stuff. And I'm afraid to take it because who knows how I'm going to react to it. So I just don't, And I decided that because I'm on the road and because I'm busy, I had Brian at that time, trying to keep things together, trying to be, campy and fun and everything. It was. I mean, I went through some problems, you know what I mean? Like tow truck, things breaking down, but that was because of stuff I didn't know, like I didn't know about being on the road. Now I know better. I know what to focus on and what's good for, And I realize that there's a lot of people out here that, even though they're homeless and out here and they've been out here for years, they are refusing to heal. And then they go into a depression. And I'm going to tell you right now, alcohol is a terrible thing. Okay, sometimes somebody have a beer after work or whatever. Okay. But if you're getting up in the morning, you're drinking liquor. If you have to have liquor every day, because, sometimes people, they go to a party, they work all week, they do whatever, they go to a party and they're offering a liquor. Okay, you have some liquor. But every single day in the morning too, this is a person who is refusing to heal, because, and then that brings you depression, because you don't want to stop and think about the past and how you can fix it and change the future. You just want to do this and you want to do that. Well, how are you going to get there if you're drinking all the time? It's like a lot of talk, it's not good for you. And I've met a lot of people who are using out here, using drugs and alcohol. We have people out here who smoke a lot of weed. I'm not against it, but I feel like weed should be used for medicinal uses, not to be high all day. That's going to lead you into depression. Oh, well, I have anxiety. No, I have anxiety too, but I don't have it that bad. And especially if you're in nature, this is a natural reliever of anxiety. What do I have to be anxiety or worry about out here? Nothing. Nothing. Trees and grass are going to cause me anxiety? No. Me, I have 2 dogs. No animals are going to come near here. That's just it. I have no anxiety, so I feel happy all the time. And then I run into the broken people, and this depression could lead you to be on the phone too much, using the phone, to look up things. And who else I've met a lot on the road? Hypochondriacs. People who are so depressed, and then one day they don't feel good, and then they start looking up, what is this? They're so depressed, and they can't get help because of their mental state, that what they do, some people do, not everybody, but some people, they turn into hypochondriacs because no one can see their mental health issue. They're not ready to even tackle the mental health issue themselves. And then so they look for things to make it seem like their outside is messed up, so they get the care and compassion that they want because they're not willing to do the work and help themselves. The mind is a powerful thing. You can trick yourself into believing you are sick. This is why the word hypochondriac is there. Because we have a lot of people like, I have some ailments. If I look those up, I bet you I can find some sort of illness and call it that. But I refuse to do that because I've met too many hypochondriacs. And if I feel like, okay, my stomach hurting, I'm having diarrhea, oh my God, something is wrong. It's just not, yes, people have allergies to things. But if you haven't really had it your whole life and then all of a sudden one day it's there, how? How? Yeah, I know a lot of people like this. Oh, I think I have. How do you know that? Oh, because I looked it up on WebMD, and I never look up illnesses. I never. For what? To scare myself into thinking I have something? No. It's not a good idea. And then also, these people and they're doing drugs and alcohol. That ain't helping. That ain't helping you to get better. It's like, and then everybody thinks that they need to be helped and they deserve to have this and they deserve to have that. How? If you don't even want to help yourself, how do you think you're going to help others? Or others are going to help you? You have to at least look like you're trying to fix yourself or do something better in your life, or not look so upset all the time and discouraged about life. People don't want to help people who are discouraged about life because, how do they know that they're going to do and give you all this help, and then next thing you know, you're putting toxins in your body, or you're hurting yourself. Or why would somebody want to help anybody like that? It's difficult. You have to if you want to get better and you want to heal, look up things that are going to help you. Don't look up things you think you already know that you are, and have you been diagnosed medically for it? Because some people will just look in there and be like, I have this. How do you know? Oh, because my symptoms. Alcohol can cause a lot of bad symptoms. I had hypothyroid, and that's something that just doesn't come and go. But mine is gone. I do not have that anymore. I decided to take my health into my own hands because I was tired of people, judging me in the hospitals and giving me just whatever they think pill I need. No, I started to take care of myself. I started eating better. I don't eat fast food at all. I started eating better. I am not allergic to anything, not that I know of. Even I picked mushrooms out there and ate them. I think I got, in my mind, I've always thought, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But like I said, the mind is a very powerful thing. But in my mind, I've always thought I got a stomach of steel. Like I could eat anything. Unless it's slimy and weird and I don't want to. Right? Because I can get the gag reflex too with, like, I don't know, something slimy, or, even sometimes I get a little, if I don't cook my eggs all the way. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Like, I always think to myself, I am strong. I am not my illness. I am not my injury. I am not my, I met those people that were nice, I'm not my sickness. You know what I mean? If a doctor can help me and cure me with a pill, I can figure out a homeopathic, healthier way to heal me without, with nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to purposefully go out and buy alcohol or drugs because I feel like it and it's going to make me feel better. No, definitely not. I'll go walk my dogs. I'll go do something fitnessy. I'll do some art or whatever, but I'm not going to do that Why would I waste my money on that too? If somebody's having hard times out here, why would you waste your money on alcohol and drugs? You need that money for other things, to survive, for gas, for whatever. So if people don't have their head in the right place, how do they expect people to want to help them? You know? I mean, that just was me thinking, you know? I would like to help people out here, but once I find out if they're using drugs and alcohol or doing this and doing that and their attitude is no good, I don't want to help that person because they don't want to help themselves. Mhm. Anyways, I think that's all I have for right now. I was just giving some thought to some stuff when I was walking. And the first step to a person wanting to heal is you have to want it. You know, if you want that drink before you want to heal, you don't want it. You're like killing yourself every day, you know? You're in denial for, you know, anyways. I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat, and I'll talk to you guys next time.